I decided that I'm going to make another Yap Chronicles because why not? Hold on, I'm missing something. But yeah, ignore the weirdness of the picture, or not the picture, the video quality. I drop my phone like every single day. And I guess one of the times that I drop my phone, I need my nose cuff because I feel naked without it. Like, I haven't been wearing it for the past few days. And for like, I think it's been like 3 days now. Yeah, I haven't been wearing it for like the past 3 days. And for the past 3 days, I have felt like I have had no clothes on the entire time. So I gotta put my nose cuff on so I feel whole. But like I was saying, yeah, like I was saying, I drop my phone a lot. And so I guess one of the times I dropped my phone, or maybe when I dropped it, I don't know, but there's like a scratch over like the camera, so it looks weird. It looks kind of cool. But yeah, and also another thing to ignore my hair. I took my locks out, and that took literally, I started taking them out on Sunday, and that took all day Sunday. So I haven't felt like taking the little braids out because that's also gonna take all day. And I'm also like, not today. So yeah, ignore my hair. I know it looks a little crazy, but don't say anything about it, like at all. Oh, and also another thing I guess I should mention, I forgot my music. I don't have my music playing. Oh well. But I guess another thing I should mention, if you're watching this video, if you come across this video and you're like, oh my gosh, who is this fine specimen on my screen? What is she talking about? What is she doing? Who is she talking to? Then, I'm just gonna inform you that this video is probably not for you. I'm not saying you can't watch it. It is public, which I low-key might change because the fact that like other people that I don't know are watching this video is a little weird to me. I mean, it's not that weird, but it's like, I don't know. This is part, I wouldn't say my fear. This is like the main reason why I don't be posting on social media, why I don't like social media. I don't like a lot of people looking at me. It's gross. It makes me feel weird. But yeah, if you're a little confused, and no, I don't have schizophrenia. I'm just fine. Thank you. Anyways, but yeah, if you're watching this video and you're like, is she okay? Who is she? What is she doing? The video is probably not for you, which is fine. I really have no clue how you got here, how you found this video. That's a little weird, I'm not gonna lie. Where are my AirPods? I left them in my bag. But yeah, if you found this video and you're not who this video was designated for, I mean, you can stay, I guess. You won't have no clue what I'm talking about. You can leave. Cool with that too. Yeah, this video was made for a specific audience, very, very, very specific audience. As in a one-person audience. But if you want to stay, that's fine. I don't care. I guess you can listen to. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. I already mentioned the camera quality. Oh, but yeah, this is episode 4 of the Yap Chronicles. Most likely part 1 because I'm probably gonna have to like leave or go a bunch of times because I'm gonna have to go eat at some point. But yeah, today's episode, I was gonna talk about video games. I want to talk about video games, but I actually have things. I don't have a lot of things to do. I just have a lot of preparation to do. Because if I told you, I'm pretty sure I told you, but I may not have because I'd be forgetting what I'm saying sometimes, a lot of times. My showcase for PCIS is tomorrow, so I've been preparing. No. I mean, I don't have a lot. Really, the only thing I have left to do is finish my poster board, which is currently empty. There's nothing on it, which is an issue, but we'll figure it out. I really like the way my jewelry looks, like with my camera. I have this other bracelet that's like, it's like diamonds, but I left it in my room and I don't feel like getting it. Or look, yeah, I could get it. But yeah, today was a busy day. I had school, of course. I did work in there. At school, oh, I had my senior send-off for NHS, which is why, let me show you. I look like I'm about to go to a funeral, and I love that for me. Look-key, all black fits are the best, honestly. But yeah, senior send-off today for NHS, which is why I'm wearing this. I had to dress nice. And there was, if it's one thing that I'm gonna do, it's wear my Crocs every chance I get. Because the attire was like business casual, like dress like you're dressing for church, right? So I wore this and I put on some ankle-high socks in my Crocs. Because no, I'm not wearing heels. I don't feel like it. It's a send-off. My mom wasn't there. Nobody, like no family was there. But yeah, I had my senior send-off for NHS. They gave me, I don't think I brought it. I was gonna grab something. Oh, I was gonna show you the bracelet. I'll grab my bracelet, and there's something else I was gonna get too. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But this is the bracelet I was talking about, and isn't it so pretty? Like with my camera being messed up, it's like very extra shiny looking. But yeah, very pretty. But when I was there, they gave me my NHS stole thing so I can wear that at graduation, and they gave me this kind of funny looking teddy bear. Oh, there's lights on him. Oh, that's gonna make somebody have a seizure. It actually looks so insane with my camera being messed up. Oh, he's actually kind of cute. He's very soft. What should I name him? He looks, look at his face. Well, you can't really see it because it's looking. He looks like, I'm kind of getting Phil. Oh, you texted me, that's cute. I'll respond later, I promise. But I can't respond now because the video will stop. But yeah, he looks like a Phil. I'm gonna name him Phil. But yeah, they gave me the stole and Phil for like my senior gift or whatever. And some weird card thing in here. There, my eye. It says this. You probably can't read that, but it says that. But yeah, so I had that like right after school basically because I had to go pick up my little brother from school and drop him off. Then I had to get dressed, which didn't take long because it's a dress. I just pulled it on and called it a day. And I didn't do anything with my shoes either. But yeah, I had my senior send-off for NHS. And then I went to Walnut Grove because that's where that's where the showcase is gonna be tomorrow at Walnut Grove. So I went there and because I have to like present to like a group of people in a room. So I got my room ready. I got it laid out how I wanted it to be. Thankfully, oh, and you know how Walnut Grove, the nut, you know how the nut, they have like, you know how we have like the pods in the library? They kind of have the same thing, but their pods are like in the middle of the wall. So it's like this is the wall and like part of the pod is like sticking out. So I got one of those rooms and mine like looks over the cafeteria, which is so cool. But thankfully the room was already set up kind of how I wanted it to be. All I had to do was move like 2 chairs. It was kind of dirty in there, but it's whatever, not my problem. But yeah, and so I got I kind of tried my best, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been procrastinating on my project for weeks. I was supposed to have my presentation slide turned in weeks ago, little weeks, and I just now started on it like 2 days ago. Let me put this in. But yeah, I just now started on it like 2 days ago. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, I started on it literally a few days ago, 2-3 days ago. But I work best under pressure. But really, there is no pressure, because this assignment has been due. I was supposed to have it turned in weeks ago. So really, there was no pressure, not gonna lie. I'm telling you, this senioritis, they were not joking when they were saying, like, oh yeah, when you become a senior, you're gonna have no motivation at all. They were not joking one bit. Because, oh my gosh, the way I used to be like, and you'd be sitting here thinking I'm slow and shit. Okay, nigga, fuck you. Anyways, though, before like freshman through junior year, like I physically could not get below a 90 in any class. Like whenever the report cards would come out, I could not allow myself. Anything under a 95 would just irk me a little bit. Senior year, I just cared that I'm passing. Really, it doesn't matter anymore, because I already got accepted, I already got scholarships. Like, as long as I don't fail any of my classes, I'm straight. Speaking of, doesn't matter, like, if I'm failing the 9 weeks, but I'm passing the semester, can I still graduate? Or do I have to be passing the fourth 9 weeks? Because I'm not even gonna lie to you, currently, I'm failing one of my classes for the 9 weeks, but I'm passing for the semester. Because I got like in the first semester, I got a good grade in that class, of course. Because it was like the beginning of the year. Senioritis wasn't here yet. So I was good beginning of the year, but there's literally only like 5 grades in a grade book right now for that class. One of them is 0. One of them is a 0. Well, okay. It's like 5 grades. 3 of them are hundreds, because I turned them in on time. 1 is a 0 and 1 is a 20. So I'm sitting at a cute, like, what? Like 60 something in the class? I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so like, is it fine? Which, not my most proud moment, but I really don't care anymore. I really don't care anymore. As long as I graduate, I really don't care. But yeah, so can I be like failing the 9 weeks, but passing the semester and then let me graduate? I don't know. But I'm not too worried about the grade, because the showcase tomorrow, that's a grade. Like when I have to get there on time, be dressed professional. So that in itself is a grade. And then the other stuff that I need to be turning in right now is also grade. I have another assignment that I need to turn in tonight, but we all know that's probably not gonna happen. Well, no, it kind of needs to happen tonight, because I have to take a picture of my trifold, and I need the trifold ready tonight so I can present with it tomorrow. Crazy thing is, it's like I kind of have like 2 speeches I need to prepare for. I need to have like my elevator pitch, which is basically just to get people like drawn in. It should be no more than a minute, 2 minutes, I'm pretty sure. Fairly short, just the intro. So I need my elevator pitch, and then I need my actual presentation. I have what I'm gonna say for my actual presentation ready. I just have no clue what I'm gonna say for my elevator pitch. Like, I think I'm just gonna wing it, free ball it. I was gonna say something, but yeah, it's at Walnut Grove. I don't know if you're gonna be back tomorrow. I kind of hope you are. But yeah, but I'm not telling you so you can go. I'm not gonna lie. If I was like presenting and you like walked in the room and you showed up, I wouldn't be able to present. I'm gonna be completely honest. I wouldn't be able to present. I would be too distracted, because you're distracting. You're a distraction. But yeah. But yeah, I hope you're back tomorrow. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna have the video uploaded tonight. Today's Monday, the 22nd. So just in case you watch this on like a Friday, I'm hoping you're back the next day on a Wednesday. No, Tuesday, on a Tuesday. But yes, at Walnut Grove. I like how people call Walnut Grove the nut. I think that's funny. I was talking with Davis. We were like, if we went to Walnut Grove and we like won like a basketball game or like a football game, we would tell the other team to get nutted on. Yeah, thought that was kind of funny. I was gonna say something else. Oh, but yeah, I need to show you my thing. I don't know if you can see it. I have so many tabs open on this computer. It's not even funny. And it's running so slow. I need to close like a lot. I'm gonna close most of them because I just want to show you just in case you can't come, you're not here. I don't think I'd want you because like I said, I wouldn't be able to present if you were there. I would be too, anyways, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, I'll just show you. I'm not gonna lie, the fact that you told your mom that I'm slow, okay, you know what? I really don't care because, you know what? I'll admit, I'm a little behind. And it's not even like I'm stupid slow. It's just the time that it takes for me to comprehend some things might be a little bit behind the average person. I will admit. Okay, but honestly, that's only because it's senior year. I'm literally running on 2 brain cells right now. Because why would I use 100% of my brain power and risk making the world blow up when I can function fine with just 2? And it's not like I really need to use all of my brain power for anything right now. So like, why would I do that? We'll save that for when I'm in college and I actually have to learn things, because high school is literally a joke. High school has been a joke. There's like only a few classes that I can say I've actually learned something, and I'm still like, okay, like digital art and animation, that's one class that isn't a joke. I still use things that I learned from that class because I still have that Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator thing, since it's linked to my school thing, which I need to see how I can change my email and link it to my personal email so I can still use it even when I'm not in school. But yeah, that's one class that I still use, like things that I learned. African American Studies is the other class. PCIS. And all the computer science classes I've taken, because I'm doing computer science in college. Those are the only classes that were somewhat beneficial. And also video game design. Video game design, I think I talked about this a little bit in one of my other episodes, but it had to have been the most fun class I've ever taken in my entire life. That class was so much fun. Oh my gosh. I need to tell you, I had like it was like a weird mix of kids in that class. Because it was like a group of kids. It was like the kids in that class, it was like 2 groups. It was the kids that were actually in that class because they like wanted to design video games, and those were kind of like the weird kids. And you had the kids that just took the class. Okay, I had to pause the video for a second. What was I talking about? But yeah, two groups of kids in that class. You had the weird kids that took that shit a little too serious, and you had the other group of kids that only took the class because they thought it was going to be easy, which it was. When I tell you, for like the first semester of that class, it wasn't even homework. Our assignments, things that were actually graded on, was literally to play video games. Like, I feel like I told you this before. But what I didn't tell you was how one time I was in class, right? Oh, that class was so weird. I'm just now realizing. Okay, back to the weird group of kids, right? Kids that took it too hard. That took the class too serious, and kids that were just in there because they knew it was going to be easy, right? So, oh my gosh. I sat, like, Justin? He was in that class. That nigga's a character. Like, just having a class with him is literally like a fever dream. He's so weird. But he was in my class, and then one of my friends, Gracie, she goes to a school in Atlanta, actually. I miss her. She was so cool. But yeah, her name was Gracie. She graduated already. She graduated last year. But yeah, she was in that class. And there were some other kids. It was some really cool kids in there. I liked that class a lot. And my teacher, her name was Miss Mutroni. She's still the video game design teacher there. She still teaches at Rock Hill. She was super cool too. But it was like one time I was working on a project, and I'm just minding my business, because the way that the class is set up, because it's one of the classes with all the computers, so it's like rows, right? And so you have like kids behind you or whatever. It's not really that important, but whatever. So I'm looking at my computer doing my work, whatever. I think I was like, pretty sure I was playing like like the very first Mortal Kombat or something. And then it was like I sat next to Gracie, Justin was in front of me, and it was like this group of kids that kind of sat behind me and like to the left of me, whatever. All of them were super cool. I liked them. But so I was working on my stuff, and all I heard is like people like, oh my gosh, and like motherfuckers like sniggling and giggling back there. So I look, I'm like, what are y'all laughing about? Oh my, bro, it's actually so crazy, because I remember all the time that I've been living out here, like just going to schools out here. People, like the teachers love to sit here and be like, oh yeah, we can see everything we do on your Chromebooks and on your computers. Like, we're monitoring everything. Like, if you even try to type something out inappropriate, we're gonna have you called up to the office before you can even press search. They lied. Because tell me why. I turned around. It's actually still so crazy to think about. I turned around because I'm like, what is everyone laughing about? Like, what's going on? I turn around, look at her computer, and it was a girl who was looking it up. She was cool, a little weird, but she was cool. I tell you, this bitch was on X videos, scrolling through the videos. I was like, I looked at it, I was like, what are y'all watching? Like, she was dead ass on X videos scrolling. She's about to click on a video too. It was actually so insane, because I turned around and I just saw like straight dick and ass everywhere, and I was so confused. Yeah, they lied, because they don't be monitoring that. Because why is that website not blocked? That's the real question here. Why is that? They want to block cool math games, but they don't want to block X videos? That don't make no type of sense at all. How are you gonna block cool math games, but y'all won't block X videos? Like, that really don't make no type of sense. But yeah, that was one really interesting thing that happened in that class. Like, I was actually insane. And then there's like another thing. I was working on like a project, and I have my AirPods in, and my teacher, they were talking about something, because I'm not even gonna lie, majority of the time we were in that class, we wouldn't even be doing anything. We would be talking about like video games or anime or TV shows or whatever, just talking about random stuff, right? So I have my AirPods in, I listen to music, and then I'm not listening to what they're saying really. I'm doing my own thing. I'm just chilling. But like I feel like I heard the word hentai, right? But it was my teacher who was talking, so I kind of brushed off at first. I was like, I'm just hearing things, right? But then kids in my class start laughing like, oh my gosh, I take my AirPod out. I was like, huh? What are y'all talking about? And then I don't know what they were talking about, but my teacher, Ms. Mutroni, she's like, we're making video games. We're not drawing hentai, guys. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? So apparently her and some other kid, I don't know what, I think they were like complaining about, because we were working on a project. This was like the project I told you about, how we had to like create a video game or whatever. And how I was telling you, I did like I did the one where I had like all the different rappers fighting each other. Speaking of which, let me tell you, because your girl is actually so talented. Like, I'm really just the shit. Like, you are so lucky to have someone like me in your life, because I'm amazing. I really am. But let me show you some of the stuff that I had to some of the stuff I was drawing up for the class. Put my AirPods in. I don't remember, but what was I talking about? Oh, but yeah, apparently one of the kids was complaining because we were working on a project, and they were complaining about how we have to like draw out every single character. They're like, oh my gosh, that's so hard. And my teacher, Miss Mushroni, she was like, it's not that hard. Like, you guys are making simple, pixelated, damn 16-bit characters. We're not drawing hentai. And that low-key caught me off guard, like, a lot. Because what are you talking about? So, we're not drawing hentai. They go, what? But yeah, that was really interesting. But let me tell you, let me show you all the stuff I did. So my game, it was called Mortal Musicians. You can't really see it because it's like looking weird. But like my thing was basically, it was literally like New Age Def Jam. And I'm assuming you don't know what Def Jam is because you're lame as fuck. Def Jam is basically Mortal Kombat, but instead of like Scorpion, what's the ice dude name? How did I forget his name? What is his name? It's Scorpion and, oh my gosh. Sub-Zero, yeah. Instead of Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Melina, Katana, Autumn, Raiden, Noob Saibot, it's rappers. So that's what Def Jam is. And my game is basically New Age Def Jam. So let me show you, because I'm actually so talented, bro. Look at this. I want to see if I can show you, because I made like whole animations and everything for the characters. They're actually so cute. Let me show you. Oh my gosh, can I not show it to you? No way. Hold on. But they're so adorable. So like I said, New Age Def Jam. And so I did all these different characters. So of course, you know, I had to start with like the greatest rapper of all. Why does it look like that? Hold on. Nothing is loading. Where's my other? I think I have to grab my other computer. Cause no, it's actually so cool. Like, I'm not even saying this to like be cocky or nothing, but like, I low-key did that. Like, they look so good. They're just really tiny. I'm gonna have to get my other computer and show you. I need to be working on my project right now, but I really don't care. I'll do it later. Let me grab my other computer. Okay, but so I basically made little characters for rapper. I did X, of course. I did Ski, of course. I did Lil Yachty. I did Biggie. I did MF Doom. I did Ice Spice. I did King Carson. I did BK the Ruler. Who else did I do? Let me show you, because I'm actually like, I actually really did that. I'm so proud of myself because they low-key look so good. But yeah, when I'm done showing you this, I'll actually work on my assignment. Because I have to do that. And my computer will turn on. But yeah, that class was so much fun. Like, that was like one of my favorite classes like of all time. And I'm not gonna lie, that was like the only class that like kept me from like jumping out of a window junior year. Because junior year was rough. It really was. Like, I was taking like 4 AP classes, and one of them was fucking AP Chem. Literally the hardest class I've ever taken in my entire life. Every time I walked into that class, I wanted to cry. Like, that class was actually so bad. Like, it was hard as shit. Cause you know, and like, bro, let me tell you, that class was actually so bad. Like, that class was so hard. At the beginning of the year, it was like I had like 32 kids in my chemistry class. Literally, by the start of the second semester, it was only 6 other kids in my class. My class was a class of 7. I had 7 kids, including myself, in that class by the start of the second semester. but it was hard. I hated that class a lot. It was so hard, but I finished with like an 84, which is like the lowest grade I've ever finished with in a class. But I wasn't even mad about it, because like I said, that class was actually so insanely hard. And I like that's not terrible. That's not the grade that I wanted to finish with. Of course, it was like 90 and above in all classes. But given that it was AP chemistry, 84 is decent, okay? And that was actually insane, because I'm not gonna lie, I was basically failing like every single quiz. I'm going to be completely honest. Okay, but it was because she literally would give us like, I'm trying to find the character so I can show you. She would literally give us like 10 question quizzes. Who does that? A 10 question quiz? So literally, if you weren't getting 7 or more right, you were screwed. And it's like, I wasn't even, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I was failing them, but it was like, I never got lower than a 60, which isn't good, but it wasn't like I was getting like 30s and 20s on my shit. I wasn't. I was so pissed. I was so pissed that they decided to implement the new grading policy after my junior year. Like, do you know how helpful that would have been to retake any minor grade for up to a 90? Do you know how helpful that would have been my junior year? Because I was going through it. Like, I'm telling you, video game design. No, that class was the only reason why I just didn't end it all. I'm joking. A little bit. But I don't know why it's not working. I'm gonna see if I can show you. Because it's actually so cool, like, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm trying to find it, but I can't. I'll show it to you first, and then I'll actually get started on my work. But until then, I'm gonna look for this. Let me see. I have to stop it again. I have to go in a bit, but I'm trying to figure out how to get it to work. Or like how I can show you. Maybe I have to do it like this. I use like this website called Piskel. It's like a pixel sprite editor type thing. Let me see. Because I want to show you, because I'm actually like so proud of these. Like, they're so cute. They're so adorable. Let me see. Like, they're actually so adorable. I love them so much. I'm really trying to find out how. Let me see. If it'll work. Okay, I'll show you X first. I have like a walking. I'll show you like the walking animation. Or no, I won't do that. I don't think it's gonna work. I'll just show you what he looked like. And I made 2 versions. I did Okay, it showed up. Okay, let me show you. So I made 2 versions of him. I was gonna make more of like all the X's different eras, but I didn't have time. So I did like his like 2017, 16 to 17 X when he had like the half and half XXL freshman. Look at that. You can't tell me that's not cool. Look. It's adorable. He's so adorable. Look at him. So that's X. Like, this is literally like my favorite thing ever. Like, look at the hair. Look at the hoodie. I really did that, okay? Let me show you. I did ski, of course. Or actually, no, I'll show you the other version of X. I told you I made 2 versions. Let me show you this version. I did old school X, like 2015 and back. When he didn't even have the dreads, when he had the fro. I did this version of him. Okay, like you can't tell me I don't look like him. Right? And then let me show you ski. I'll show you ski mask. I did Stokely Pokely. I love this one too. And for the load. I think I messed it up. Hold on. I'm gonna have to go in a bit. Hold on. Okay. And then I did ski mask. Isn't he cute? Like, I got the do-rag and everything. And then those are my favorites, X and ski. I'll show you the other ones I did. I also did, I did MF Doom. This one came out really cool. Okay. And then I did MF Doom. I did Ice Spice. Like, you can't tell me she don't look good. Look, that look like Ice Spice. Okay, I did an Ice Spice. Let me show you who else. I did Pierre. Question, do you like Pierre? Do you listen to him? I like Pierre. This one, you can't really tell. It just look a little funny, but it's supposed to be Pierre it's like from that one album cover. I forgot which one, but when he's like on top of like the Murakami pillows and shit and got the purple outfit on. Yeah, I did him. And then I did Lil Yachty. I love how this one came out too. This one's cute. But look, isn't he cute? Got the hair with the beads. And then I did a few more. I did a Lil Yachty, and then I did, like I said, BK. Did BK the Ruler. This one came out. I really like how this one came out too. This one's cute. BK when she had like the green fro and everything. And then I was gonna do a lot more. I was gonna do. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm back. I don't remember. It looks extra like. Well, this thing on my camera is actually insane. Like, I won't ever be able to take like a normal picture from the face camera again. It's fine. What was I don't remember what I was talking about. Was I showing you the characters? I showed you BK already. But yeah, those were those are, I also made Biggie, but it doesn't really look like Biggie. But yeah, those are all the characters. I said I was gonna start on my project. No, I actually have like just a terrible urge, like to like just not do my trifold. Like I really don't feel like it anymore. Like I'm so tired. I have like a lot of stuff I need to print out. Well, not a lot, but I need to figure out what I'm gonna put on it. Like I'm mostly just gonna do pictures. Thankfully my trifold is pretty small. I'm like tired already. I want to go to sleep. Thankfully my trifold is like pretty small, but so there's not like a lot of room for me to put a lot of stuff, but I still don't want to put stuff on it. But I guess I'll walk you through my presentation. I won't give you like the whole spiel. Like I told you, I have like a whole speech. I'm not gonna tell you the speech and everything, but I'll walk you through it. Basically, I could show it to you. But yeah, this is my presentation. So my final showcase presentation, it actually looks so crazy because my camera thing, but it looks it's like blurry kind of. But yeah, this is my final showcase presentation. I had to pause the video because I realized I have this disgusting picture of me on my, so we're just gonna do this. No, the picture's actually so bad. Like I look crazy. I had to take professional headshots for PCIS and the picture is terrible. Like I look insane. You can't see that. But picture of me. Class of 2024, of course. Aspiring cybersecurity analyst. And I was an aspiring software engineer. I still kind of want to do software engineering, but I'm definitely more on cybersecurity now. So interviews, I had to interview 4 people. Here are 3 of them. I interviewed Haven Smith. He was like a family friend. He's a software engineer at JP Morgan. And this is my robotics mentor, Michael Duffy, also a software engineer. And then I interviewed this guy named Ken Himes. He's like friends with my mom. He's a data analyst and he works for Warner Brothers, which is kind of cool. And then my mentor, Brenitra Mosley, she's the 4th person I interviewed, which is why there was only 3 people on the interview slide. But she is a senior manager of cybersecurity. And oh my gosh, when I was interviewing her, she told me like some of the coolest stuff she used to do. She used to work with the Marines, right? And she was part of their anti-tamper unit on missiles. She would literally reverse engineer missiles to ensure that whenever we would give missiles to other countries, or they would ever get like deployed in war and they just wouldn't detonate, or they got lost and things like that, that other countries couldn't go back and reverse engineer those missiles and get important information and secrets out of them, right? So she would reverse engineer these missiles and she would make sure that whenever these missiles were tampered with, that they would self-destruct or shut off so people weren't able to retrieve important data from them that they can use against the US, which I thought was like actually so cool. And then now her job, she like works with airlines and like oil rigs. And her job is she like goes to different airlines and oil rigs and a bunch of other things. And she looks at their cybersecurity sector. And she basically just reviews them and, makes sure they're up to date. And if they're not, she talks with the clients. And it's like, hey, here are the things that y'all need to upgrade on your cybersecurity. Which I also thought was like super cool because she was telling me like her job, how if an airline doesn't have the proper threat detection on its cybersecurity, people can hack into like their system and can basically like mess up everything, really, which I thought was super nice. I thought it was super cool, not nice. And the things I researched, I went through, I didn't finish it, not gonna lie, but I went through Harvard's Introduction to Computer Science course, and then I also used W3 Schools, which is like online documentation. You can learn how to like write code in like Java and Python and like Cobol and C# and C+, all that other type of stuff. And that's what I used when I first wanted to do software engineering. Oh, look, I cut my hair. I'm trying to take my locks out so now it like sticks up. I also cut my hair back here too. You see how tiny it is compared to this one? See how long this one is? I cut this one too. I cut another one. I thought I just saw it, but I can't find it. But yeah, I cut my hair. I'm trying to take my locks out. But anyways, what was I talking about? I don't remember what I was talking about. I don't remember. What was I saying? Oh, but yeah, this is when I was wanting to do software engineering. I wanted to be a programmer. So I did these two things. But then after I met my mentor, I switched over to cybersecurity. And then I went through Security Plus. I'm not done with it. The book is somewhere in my room. It's like this thick ass book. So I can get my Security Plus certification. And then the thing that's part of my project now, ICS, Cyber Threat Intelligence, is another book that I'm reading. I don't have the book with me. But ICS, Industrial Control Systems. I'll tell you a little bit about critical infrastructure. So basically, critical infrastructure is so important, which is why it's critical. Basically, they are facilities or systems that have been deemed critical by the government or the CSA or America's Cyber Defense Agency, CDA. And it's like CISA is one of them. It's cybersecurity and intelligence, something agency, right? But they're these facilities and systems that, what did I put here? Oh, but they're essential to the functioning of society, basically. And without them, we would be screwed. So some of the sectors, it's not broken up, but there's 16 different critical infrastructure sectors. There's like the chemical sector, communication. So chemical sector would be like nuclear, it could involve like nuclear power plants, anything that has to do with chemicals. Communication sector would be like communication towers, radios, telephone poles. They're so loud. Hold on. About that, but radio towers, telephone poles, transmission towers, all that type of stuff. And then there's like food and agriculture. So that's mostly like with farms, things that deal with the processing and distribution of different foods like meats and vegetables and all that type of stuff, cattle, that type of stuff. And then energy sector, which is what I'm focused on. So we have the energy sector here. So what did I write? Covers all assets that maintain energy supplies. So yeah, it basically covers all assets and systems that maintain a steady energy flow within the US. So that would be nuclear power plants, wind turbines, basically electricity, oil, natural gases, I guess, or not natural gases. Yeah, that could be a thing, like water, like dams, all that type of stuff, right? And so the interesting thing, okay, and here's the crazy thing. Well, at least what I think is crazy. I think this is super interesting because when I first was researching computer science and cybersecurity, I thought it was all just computers, IT type stuff, right? Online data, networks, all that type of stuff. But that's why these critical infrastructures are called critical, is because people can hack into these different sectors and basically cause all types of chaos, right? And this is why the energy sector in particular is so important, because without the energy sector, it's uniquely critical. Because, right, when you think energy sector is quite energy, right? And we need energy to power basically everything. Like this light that I got going on here, this Chromebook, my Chromebook charger, AirPod charger, the lights in the house, things you pump your car up with gas, okay, all that type of stuff. Energy sector covers that, right? So if something was to happen to the energy structure, the energy sector, everything else would go completely haywire. Houses, neighborhoods would start being shut down. Businesses would being shut down because they have no type of power. Like we would really be like back into like cave people times, because we would have no energy, we would have no power, right? So this one's been deemed uniquely critical just for that reason, because without that energy, you texted me again. Without that energy, without the energy sector, like I said, we have no energy, we have no power, right? And then everything would just, because we rely heavily on technology, all that type of stuff. Anyways, yeah, right? So that's why it's been deemed uniquely critical. And the crazy thing about, like I said, and it's interesting because right now, China is the main country that is responsible for a lot of the attacks on our critical infrastructure, right? But a lot of these groups that are doing it, they can't be traced back to a single person or a single country, right? And so the energy sector, specifically 80% of the energy sector is privately owned, meaning that it's privately owned by like companies like Shell, and other like major gas companies, maybe other major electricity companies, right? It's all privately owned by like a person. It's not owned or ran by the government. Like, if you think about one of the other sectors is the transportation sector. Majority of that sector is not privately owned. It's owned mostly by the government. The government handles, making sure that we have fire trucks, ambulances, train stations, train stops, bus stops, all that type of stuff, right? So that type of sector, that one isn't mostly privately owned. The government handles that type of stuff, right? But the energy sector, on the other hand, isn't. It's mostly privately owned. So with that being said, what did I put? It's more susceptible to attacks because this sector in particular doesn't have a lot of that government protection like other sectors, or just other things in the US may have. Like things in this energy sector are not backed. Like there's no group. This sector is not protected by the NSA or the DOD, so National Security Agency, I think, and Department of Defense. The sector isn't protected by those two agencies and other agencies as well, right? So it's a lot easier for people to come in and hack this energy sector and basically mess everything up. And so this sector in particular is probably attacked the most. There's one group in particular called Volt Typhoon that is responsible for a lot of the breaches and attacks that have happened with the energy sector. And then this was this, oh my gosh, my mentor, she just talked to me about this, right? But there's like this life cycle of, they call it the active cyber defense cycle, right? So you can't really read it because it's blurry, but it starts up here with threat intelligence consumption, right? All right, so this is just the government, going out and telling people like, hey, you need to stay aware of these different threats, type of stuff. And then we move over here to visibility, right? And this is being able to, visibility and threat detection don't really go hand in hand, but they kind of do. Visibility and detection is kind of being able to see and also detect that, hey, we're under attack right now, or there's a piece of malware installed, or there's some strange traffic on this network that shouldn't really be acting like that. And then once you get from threat detection, you have incident response. So this is what people in the Department of Defense or the NSA would do to this response. So I guess, okay, visibility would be more of, it's a network and you're picking up strange readings, strange traffic from that network, right? I feel like that's what visibility is. And you go to threat detection, that's okay, detecting that, hey, there's a piece of malware installed, or there's someone in our network that shouldn't be here, or there's someone controlling this that shouldn't be controlling that, right? And then you have incident response. So this would kind of be, if I were to get into cybersecurity, kind of be my job. Like, how are you going to respond to this incident? What are we going to do to get this person out of our system and upgrade our defense to try to ensure that it doesn't happen again? And then you have threat and environment manipulation. So that's kind of what I was just talking about. Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to upgrade our defense system and manipulate it so the cycle doesn't repeat? But that's kind of part of the active defense, is you're always going to have to be actively defending things. There's like different levels. I wrote it down. There's like, okay, there's like passive defense, then there's active. I don't remember, but that's kind of a little bit. And then this is my project. Let me grab it. But it's called To Kill a Centrifuge. Okay, now this is the main part that was really interesting to me. I had this book that goes with my project, and it first talked a lot about, it's a quick little history lesson for you. Oh no, go back. Quick little history lesson. So it was 1950s, right? Iran and America signed an agreement called Atoms for Peace, which basically stated that both countries agreed to work together to research the uses of atomic and nuclear, the peaceful uses of atomic and nuclear energy, right? So not using it to like create bombs to like blow up other countries and shit like that. Using like, hey, how can we use nuclear and atomic energy in a way that is beneficial to us and our people, right? So they signed Atoms for Peace, right? So that went on for about 20 years, but 1979, the agreement fell through. Iran backed out because they didn't want to be part of it anymore, because the main thing was, since they were part of this agreement, I guess at the time, America didn't really trust Iran. So they were sending people over to basically, what's it called? What's it called when like, they have like, what is it? They were basically sending people to monitor their nuclear power plants and make sure that they're still in line with this agreement, right? And the Iranian people, they didn't like that. They didn't like having these American people coming over and monitoring them, watching what they were doing, all that type of stuff, right? So 1979, they back out of the agreement. You know, it all goes to shit, plans fall through, right? So then 1990, Russia steps in and they agree to give Iran the experience and tools needed to continue their atomic and nuclear research, right? So they're helping each other, okay? So it's no longer Iran and America no more, it's Iran and Russia, right? So 2002, dissident groups, or it was a group of people that didn't like the Iranian government, right? They find out in 2002 that Iran was hiding a secret nuclear facility and they were cooking up some crazy shit in there, right? So they're like, oh my gosh, like this, what are y'all doing, right? So that was in 2002. 2006, the Iranian president officially announces like, hey, that group wasn't lying. We did have a secret nuclear facility, and we actually found out how to enrich uranium. and how to use that to make bombs, right? So, of course, at the time, it was President George Bush. He was president at the time. He didn't like that, right? Because you were going to drop out of the Atoms for Peace agreement. I think my little brother just fell down the stairs. I was like, that's not funny. But yeah, President George Bush, he was like, what are y'all doing, right? Like, that's not cool. Y'all backed out. Y'all are, cooking up freaky shit with uranium, making bombs and whatnot. They didn't like that, right? So, supposedly, sometime in 2006, a group of Americans, I'm pretty sure they were Americans, created a piece of malware called Stuxnet, right? And basically, and I'm telling you, this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting. They created a piece of malware. If you don't know what malware is, it's a virus, like a computer virus. They created a computer virus, and you can see on a picture, on just a small little USB type thing. I have like a USB thing somewhere. Just a small little USB stick that when it's put into these Iranian computers, it'll go in. I'm telling you, this is the cool thing about cybersecurity. A lot of people think cybersecurity is just IT, right? Computers, data, all that type of stuff. But there's another part called OT, or operational technology, and that's where you get into ICS, or industrial control system. So basically, they created a piece of malware that tampered with Iranians' industrial control systems in their nuclear power plants, all right? Because, like I said, at the time, America wasn't rocking with what Iran was doing. They didn't like that, right? So a group of people secretly created this piece of malware. Like I said, they created it, put it all onto a little USB stick. That USB stick would then get inserted into the computer, and that malware would be downloaded on all the computers. So what did I write? It was a malware created by an unknown group in the US that basically overloaded Iranian centrifuges in their nuclear power plants, which is what these things are. And like centrifuges, like these little like cylinder type things, and they like spin really fast or whatever. So it basically overloaded their centrifuges and made them inoperable. Like they just broke down completely because it was changing. It was shifting how much energy those centrifuges were using. Oh my gosh, I need to see if I can show you, because it's like not making sense now, but it's literally so interesting. I think I'm just terrible like at explaining something like this. Like, you just have to be me to get it. Like, it's like I get it, I'm just not the best at explaining how it works. Yeah, created a piece of malware that overloaded Iranian centrifuges and basically made them inoperable, right? It was like this big deal because tensions were high at the time. It was said to be found like 2010, 2011 is when it was found. But yeah, all that type of stuff. Let me see if I can show you. But yeah, that's like what my project is on. I low-key feel like I need to find more to talk about because I feel like I'm not talking enough. But thank you. That's the end. I feel like I'm not talking enough. But this is kind of, I'll show you. This is like my visual representation of what Stuxnet did, right? Okay, let me show you. I have to plug in my thing. Okay, so I plug it in like this to power it, and it starts like lighting up. The thing is kind of broken a little bit. It works when it wants to. So I have to see if it'll work now. But you plug in these things up here, I plug this one in over here, right? Okay, look. So this is supposed to, it's a little dusty, and it's gonna look kind of weird because my camera thing is weird. But this is supposed to represent, like, we have small little residential areas here, and this whole top sector up here would be like a power plant, right? And so the thing is, let's say, you could say like under normal conditions, or I guess this would be normal conditions here. All lights are green. Some of these buttons don't work. Like I said, it works when it wants to. And it's not working now. Hold on. It's really scary, kind of. Oh, because it's not on. I forgot. I have to switch it on. Okay. It's still not working though. Okay, I realize it's because this thing, it's like loose up here. So it's like not, I think I'm gonna have to tape it because not all the buttons are getting the power that they need to function. But it's very irritating. Because like, I'm already kind of ass at explaining this shit to people. And then when I'm trying to explain to them what it does, but it's not doing what it's supposed to, I'm gonna look crazy. Okay. These ones aren't lighting up. Okay, but yeah. Normal conditions. All lights are green. Everything good. Everything is good. Everything's working how it's supposed to. So this would be the switch yard breaker right here for the generator. And then you have the intertie right here. We have the breaker right here. And then we have the protection relay over here. Breaker and protection relay are part of the transmission part. Switch breaker is part of the generator. We're generating that power, right? And so everything's running smoothly. All the little people and their houses are straight. Everything is good, right? And so this is basically what Stutnext did. So they would put like a little USB thing into the computer, download this piece of malware, right? And they would have access to to Iran's nuclear power plant, right? So what they would do is they would get access and they would start closing. They would start closing all the things down, making them inoperable. So this part, they would close off the switch yard breaker. They would close off the intertie, close off the breaker, and they close off protection relay, right? So all red means not good. It's closed, it's not working anymore, right? And they start closing off things like the protection relay. There is nothing to protect it anymore. That's why it's called the protection relay, right? So once they do that, they can go in and they can start, can you see? They can start, and this is what I was saying when they're overloading it. So I guess if you just pretend all of this is green here, this would be like, let me turn these off. This here would be ideal conditions, right? Everything is green. You know, it may go up to yellow. You probably can't tell, it's yellow. It may bounce between yellow, but ideally it'll stay in green. This number right here stays relatively low, right? But like I was saying, when they download that piece of malware, they can start to go in and they can start closing all these different things. So they go in, they close the breaker, shut off the intertie, close off the breaker here, they close off protection relay, right? So once they have all that closed down, there's nothing, the power plant is basically completely vulnerable. There's no longer any protection to keep people from going in and doing what they want. So now that they have all these things closed and there's really nothing stopping them from doing what they want, they can go up here and they turn up the power all the way on the generator. You can't really see, but it's like, because it looks weird. It's like, oh my God, that looks so terrible, actually. You can't even see, but like it's green here and then it goes up to yellow and red. Red is not good, right? And they're using up all the power for the generator. And the power for the power meter is all the way at 105, right? So this is what I was saying. They're basically overloading this nuclear power plant, and they were causing it to produce a lot more power than it can handle, right? And when they start doing that, let's see if it's gonna work. It's not working. But when you close off this nuclear power plant here and you start overloading it, other things start to get affected. It's not working. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I'm already not good at explaining this stuff. But now it just looks even more crazy because I'm trying to explain like what it's supposed to do and nothing's happening. And now I just look weird. Okay, but reality, it basically causes a cascade effect. Once one thing breaks down, the other three follow, right? And at that point, it's completely vulnerable. And then what's supposed to happen is when, right now, the generator is completely overloaded, everything's closed, it's all inoperable. They turned up the power all the way, centrifuges running hella fast until they go so fast they just burn out of power, stop, don't work anymore. And so what's supposed to happen is these little houses right here and this one here is supposed to turn yellow, meaning that it's been affected. I feel like that was such like an ass explanation. I'm actually so bad. Like in my head, it makes sense. I'm looking at it and it makes sense. But when I try to tell other people how it works, I can't. But yeah, that's my project. I need to finish my poster board, but I really don't want to. But yeah, that's my project. I'm low-key kind of nervous. I'm very nervous for tomorrow. I mean, okay, I'm not that nervous really, but like I said, I'm not the best at explaining. And like the scary thing about this really is that you have to get people to come and listen to your presentation. Like that's what the my poster board is for. I can go and I'll talk to them or whatever, but you have to be like interesting enough and pull them in enough. Because once you finish with your like elevator pitch, there'll be like a journal where it's like a little gallery walk thing, and that's where you really try to get people's attention. And then after the gallery walk is when you actually go to the presentation. You present for real. And low-key, people might not come because they might not think it's interesting, or they think it's boring, or they don't understand. I personally think this is very interesting. I had a blast learning about this. But I don't think other people, or I don't know if other people are going to feel the same. And they might not listen to my thing for that very reason, just because they don't understand it or they think it's boring. And like the goal is like to get 5 people each time to listen to you present. You present 2 times. And so, yeah, I'm really tired right now, but I can't go to sleep because I have things to do. I think I'm gonna just talk more because I don't feel like working right now. So I'm gonna just do that. But yeah, that's like the scary thing about it, really, is that people may not listen. They may not think it's interesting, which I really don't care. I think it's interesting, but low-key it'll be kind of awkward. Like if I'm just standing there and it's just me and my mentor, and we're just looking at each other. Because my mentor is going to be there too tomorrow. And she's going to be there. She's going to listen to me present. It's going to be it'll be embarrassing a little bit. Not embarrassing, it'll just be awkward because she's just going to be looking at me. I'm just going to be looking at her. But I don't think I really mind if people don't come, because then that means I won't have to present. I don't like presenting at all. Like, I really do not like presenting. I don't like when it's like a bunch of people staring at me. I think that's gross. I don't like it. I don't like when I'm like presenting and I like go out to like look at the audience or whatever and they're all just looking at me. I don't like that. But yeah. But yeah, that's my project. I need to work on it some more, but I really don't feel like it now, but I probably should. Oops. I just need to work on my presentation more because I have like a whole script that I'm gonna be reading off of. Because before, for my first showcase, I just had to do an elevator pitch. But now I have like a whole long ass. It's supposed to be 15 minutes. 15-minute presentation. I'm so tired. Like, I've literally been ripping and running all week. I really don't know. Well, okay, I guess I could read it out to you. No, I don't want to. No, I guess I could. I mean, I need to say it out loud anyways because I need to hear what I'm saying so I can get it figured out. So I'm gonna tell you my speech. It's not done. But so basically, I share just a little bit about me. So I go, hello, say Lowry, currently a senior at Rock Hill High School, first year prosper career independent studies student, studying cybersecurity. What really intrigued me about PCIS, or no, I can leave that. What really intrigued me about PCIS was its ability to allow students to get a feel for what it would be like in the workforce. When I joined this class as a junior, I know I had all of the hard skills to excel in the computer science field, but I lacked a lot of soft skills such as presenting. I wanted to be able to build on my skills from an experienced professional rather than always having to rely on outside resources. So when I first entered into PCIS, my chosen field of study was actually software engineering or programming. I don't think I'm gonna say that. Since PCIS is, I feel like I don't have a good transition between that. I don't want to say that in part. So when I first entered into PCIS, my chosen field of study was actually software engineering. Since PCIS is all about preparing us for the workforce, one of my first assignments was to interview professionals in our desired field of study. So my first two interviewers were with Haven Smith, a software engineer at JP Morgan. I feel like this part is fine. Okay, my very last interview was with my now mentor, Brenitra Mosley, a senior manager of cybersecurity in the airline industry. And she was the one that encouraged me to make the big switch from software engineering to cybersecurity. Interviewing her and hearing her different experiences working in the Marines as part of the anti-tamper unit on missiles and currently working with different airlines and oil rigs to review their security showed me how cybersecurity can traverse into our physical systems and manipulate them. Her enthusiasm for the field and her motherly encouragement to explore the world of cybersecurity is how I knew I wanted her to be my mentor. I'm so tired, it's not even funny. But another thing I noticed, oh my gosh, I feel like I have a speech impediment. I'm pretty sure I had one in like elementary school, and my mom was like, in like middle school, she was like, I need to get you into speech therapy. I was like, what? I'm not going to speech therapy, and now look, I can't even say things normally. Like, it's actually really bad. Like, I used to say things backwards when I was younger. Like, I still do that sometimes too. Like, I'll be talking really fast, and I'll literally say it backwards, which is so weird. I'll be like, hello, how are you? Well, that's what I'd be trying to say. I'm like, how are you, hello? Anyways, as a PCIS student, we expected to research our desired field of study and document them in assignments called evidences of learning, or EOLs, which is how we document and track everything we have learned throughout the year. So when I first began my evidences of learning, or my EOLs, it was mostly geared towards software engineering. I went through different programming courses and read through different online documentations, such as W3 Schools and Harvard's Intro to Computer Science. it wasn't until I started meeting with my mentor that the direction of my research started to shift towards cybersecurity. I started reading through a Security Plus book to learn about the foundations of cybersecurity, and I read SANS Institute Industrial Control Systems, or ICS, Cyber Threat Intelligence book to help me understand my final product and how it functioned. Though a main chunk of my research was focused on learning about this is what I'm talking about. Though a main chunk of my research was focused on learning about, I don't like that. I really don't. I say another part of my research another part of my research was focused on learning about critical infrastructures and their importance. Critical infrastructures are facilities and structures. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. What can I say? Critical infrastructures are facilities and structures that are considered essential by the government for the functioning of society, hence why it's critical. There are a total of 16 critical infrastructure sectors, according to America's Cyber Defense Agency. Some include the chemical, communications, food and agriculture, information technology, and the energy sector, which is what I'll be focusing on. These sectors' assets, systems, networks, and effects on the United States as a whole have been deemed so vital that any threat to these sectors that could result in them potentially being destroyed would have catastrophic effects on America. Gosh. The energy sector protects all assets that maintain steady energy supplies and ensure the overall health and wellness of the nation. This can include electricity, oil, natural gas, and any assets to maintain steady energy supplies. I said that twice. To maintain and any assets. This can include electricity, oil, natural gas, and this can include things such as electricity, oil, and natural gas. This sector in particular has been deemed uniquely critical because this energy sector powers all other sectors, as in all other sectors wouldn't be able to function without it. More than 80% of the energy sector is privately owned, meaning there's no form of government or higher powered protection, leaving the sector to be more vulnerable to cyber attacks. From 2000 to 2023, China has been the main country responsible for cyber threats to this energy sector, involving groups such as Volt Typhoon. I need to research more about Volt Typhoon because I can't mention it and not explain what Volt Typhoon is, because people are going to be looking at me like, what is Volt Typhoon? And I won't have anything. Chinese hackers that attack U.S. Chinese state is a Chinese state-sponsored hacker group that actively targets critical infrastructure. Oh my gosh. Chinese sponsored hacker group that specifically target critical infrastructures to weaken America. I wish I was really good at getting what I'm thinking in my head and saying it out loud, because if it wasn't for the fact that I'd stutter and forget my words, I would completely freeball this. I would completely freeball it, but I can't do that. And majority of cyber attacks against the US cannot be traced back to a person or country. Okay, so before I start to explain what my physical product is, it's important to know the background information and how the project itself came to be. This all started with a piece of malware called Stutnex, which was initially discovered in 2010, was estimated to be created as far back as 2006. This piece of malware was created specifically to overload Iranian centrifuges, leaving them inoperative. My product is a physical representation of what it would look like if a piece of malware like Stutnex were to attack. My product is a physical representation of what it would look like if a piece of malware like Stutnex were to attack a nuclear power plant in a community. And then I'll tell the people, like, come around, you guys can look. And she did a lot better job of explaining it than I did, which is how I know I probably need to do more research. Because it's like, I get it, but I don't know how to put it into words. Like, I get it just enough for me to understand, but that's not good enough. I want to do something with my hair. I was going to curl it tonight, but what time is it? 10:33, which actually isn't that bad. But it's also still pretty bad given the fact that I haven't even touched my poster board, which is cute. I don't want to touch it at all. I really don't want to do it. I'm so tired. But that's my project. I think I'll do more research when I'm in bed, but I'm actually so tired. My main goal is to finish my trifold. I feel pretty decent about my presentation, but I'm probably just gonna go over it more in school. We started working on that project in forensics, and I'm basically done. I did stations 5 and 6 because I worked with it with like Jonah Mason, Patrick, and some other dude in my class. So I'm basically almost done with it. So I think in that class, that's what I'll do, is I'll work on this more, but I really need to finish my trifold tonight. But I really don't want to because I just want to go to bed. I'm so sleepy. No, but I also wish I could FaceTime you, though. I wish I could FaceTime you, too, though. I don't think you can, because I know you're still in New Orleans right now, so it's whatever, I guess. I just realized I didn't play my theme music for the Yap Chronicles. I didn't do my signature intro. But yeah, I think that's all. I think tomorrow, when I don't have anything to do, I'll talk about video games. I'm also really tired. But I know I need to stay up and work on my trifold because I had oh my gosh. I had all this stuff that I was going to do, which I can still do it. I'm just going to be up to the ass crack of dawn. I still have a lot of stuff that I need printed out. I need to take Coda out so he can use the bathroom. But yeah, I think that's it for the video. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Until next time.